So this is something that I have on my door. I am the casino, I make the rules, and suckers play my odds. And it's a great quote, and what is behind it is the fact that if you play the same set play again and again and again, sometimes you will lose because the market is completely random and there's a lot of variables. But if you play it again and again and again and again consistently, like a casino does the odds with its punters, you will be successful because the house always wins. What's up? Stephen Johnson Stocks. I am actually filming this on a Friday, but it will come to you on Saturday. So I closed my month off officially last night with a green trade on LPTH, which was cool. The reason that I'm closing the month early is because I'm taking today off, not out of choice. For me personally, my favorite three things in life are trading, sex, and drinking beer in the sun, which is what I'm doing today. And the only reason I'm doing it is because after staying in the house for 3 consecutive weekends in a row, my parents got a bit concerned and said, Stephen, you really need to go out. You need to go out. But I can't help it. I'm fucking obsessed with this. As we are going into April and before we review March, I think it's good to look ahead and look at April's rules. So the April rules are position sizes a minimum of $1,500. And the reason for that is because last month I took profit from the market in March. So I know that I'm just losing on commission. So just need to up my position size from like 1,000 to 1,500, 2,000, which will mean trading is a bit more exciting for you guys because you'll see higher wins and losses. And no chasing strength unless it's a multi-day breakout, multi-month breakout, 5-minute U-shape. Multi-month breakouts have legs, especially on news. That's the best pattern I've seen ever is a long. Dip buys only after 3. I need to practice that a bit. Stock liquidity, stay in stocks with about 750,000 shares traded. And if you lose more than $50, walk away from the market. I've often found that after I've made an okay trade or a good trade, but I was just a bit early, then I've blew it by being pissed off and throwing another $50, $100 away. So I'm going to walk away from the market if I lose for 15 minutes. And these are just some of the patterns that are working right now. 5-minute U-shape works pretty much every time. Ascending triangle was working well, breaking off consolidation, except on DFFN I got stuffed, which was a shame because it knocked its 100% record. And multi-day, multi-month breakouts, like I say on news, they're just the king. The type of pattern that just works every time for us. And dip buy-in, I'm going to kind of refine and practice a bit more. Apart from AMMD, if the stock drops from $4 to $2, I will be in that dip no matter what. Okay, so I just wanted to say quickly that I am actually having my best month ever at the moment. But before we get into that, let's just quickly go over some tweets. Thibaut, are you currently in Tim's challenge? And if so, how long and what did you get out of it? Well, what did I get out of it? I mean, I'm consistently taking money out of the market now. I just need to overcome broker commissions. So I'm pretty much getting out of it, being a profitable trader for the rest of my life. But to break it down a bit more, it's kind of constant webinars, like 4-week video lessons from Mark Crook and Tim Sykes. All access to the DVDs. It's insane. Access to the chat room and all of the other challenge successful students. It's just insane. And the referral link is below if you want to do that. Tara Tana, how long have you been a challenge student? I've been a challenge student. This is my 6th month. Hopefully I want to be green next month, which will be my 7th month. And being profitable with it, just being in the challenge for 7 months, I hope it's some sort of record. So I'm going to ask Tim about it because it's awesome. And question for you, Tara Tana. Are you single? If so, can I get your number? Leroy Conley, awesome video, best one yet. You've had 100% on the U-shaped candle on the 5-minute. Is it 5-minute? Yeah, it is 5-minute. Is it morning or afternoon, this pattern? It's morning generally, but it can be in the afternoon just whenever there's volume. And I'm a challenge student and I'm on Tim Bowen's SCT forum. This is a good point. Tim Bowen's Stocks to Trade Pro course or Stocks to Trade University, it gives like 40-minute pre-market and after-market webinars daily. And it's been an excellent resource that I've learned from. It's really complemented my education and I've learned invaluable amounts. Because to be profitable in this market, you need full immersion, and to get like nearly 2 hours a day, plus you get this kind of strategy sessions a couple of times a week, once a week as well. So like it helps to be fully immersed in the market from a pro, and I found it invaluable. But anyway, let's get into the stats and data. I'll see you later. Hey, my belly. So ending the month, a little bit of a shame because I was shooting for the first ever green month with DFFN, and I was just a few minutes late and it ended up for the month to be red, but you'll see that in a little bit. But all in all, taking everything into account, I mean, the progress has been solid. going from 10 to 8 to 7 to now 3.9. You can call it fall. And I mean, I don't know what's next. I mean, I traded horrifically this month. Like, I made so many errors, so many stupid mistakes, yet I kind of still had the best month I've ever had. And when I look at this, I mean, obviously there was the kind of the freak months. I know this month I had a crazy $300 win on MDGS, but all else aside, I had no big wins this month. I was just grinding, and somehow I traded more than I ever have, like $450 in commissions, yet I lost kind of the least that I've ever lost. And again, winning percentage, it popped from 34 to 46. It's now kind of settled more or less 39. So I think now that I've learned a lot more, and if I trade the better setups and I trade less better setups, higher position sizes, I was trading around 1,000 to 1,500 bucks. Now I'm going to be trading 1,500 to 2,000. Position size, I mean, it's really looking like, providing the market stays the same, it's not like there's a great big wall. Like, it's not like it's the Donald Trump wall between America and Mexico. I mean, there's no wall between profitability. You're either profitable or you're not. So all in all, keeping with these improvements, I think next month maybe I'll be 1-2% down, break even, roughly 42-43% profitable, 45, or I'll be green. I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't be green. I used to be like, I hope I'm going to be green next month, or I have to be green next month. Now I'm kind of expecting to be, and that's the position I'm in now. I'm like, well, why the fuck shouldn't I be? I've made so many mistakes that if I just don't fuck up, I will be. And I've done some daft stuff, but I've learned a huge amount. And it's coming, and I'm very excited about it. So DFFN is one of the trades where I think I've learned more from it than any other trade. And it was basically because I'm at that point where I'm consistently making money in the market and I'm losing money on commissions only. So I know that I need to upscale my position size. And I waited for the right setup to do it. And that was on this day with this runner, because it's kind of ran, bull flag, and now it's running on big volume. And I was like, perfect, just wait for the right entry and I'm in. So if you just look on the daily chart of the day that it broke out, we can see that it kind of ran out of nowhere. I'm guessing on some sort of news, because it's unnatural that it would run like this at about 10 o'clock, but I'm not sure what the news was. But it coiled around perfectly, held its highs, and then this was how I played it. It spikes, consolidated for a while, started kind of tightening up, U-shaped triangle. I love this play. And I was like, boom, this is going to be it. It's going to spike at 330. And it stuffed, and then it dropped out. And because I was in a bit high position size than normal, I held longer than I should have, because I knew it was a strong setup and I knew that it had very high potential of running, because these multi-month breakouts don't often fail when they break. So I held a bit too long and got out, and then I got back in thinking it was going to run, and then I got back out, and then it was a loss. And I realized after such reflection, because I beat myself up about this trade, I realized there's two ways to play this. One, when it stops, if you're going to buy the ascending triangle break, you have to get out, and just if it's not moving quickly, if it's not ascending quickly, get out. And if you miss out on the trade, you miss out on the trade. The other is to play a smaller position size, be in around here, around the 425s, and have a wider stop. So you might be playing your stop down to the 4s, or maybe the 410s. So you've got a 15-cent stop, 20-cent stop, but your potential is from 430 to like 5. So it's like more than 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1 risk reward. It's a very, very solid risk reward trade. If you're buying in here, knowing that it's just running, it's kind of spiking back up. It didn't, I mean, it was a compliment. It was a silver lining that Tim actually bought in here and it ran, and I had no idea he was going to do it. So we're obviously thinking the same thing. I'm thinking along the same lines as Tim in a lot of situations here. And I was just a bit early, and I learned a lot from it. Okay, so BTUUQ is our bankrupt stock, and it went parabolic yesterday, so the red day was inevitable. And when an OTC goes red, it goes red. And I feel sorry for, I mean, yeah, bankrupt company, and I mean, whoever bought this here and went to work the next day and checked on the market after work, they've got some explaining to the wife to do how they've just lost all the savings, because this can happen. I mean, it's risky to buy these low price OTCs, especially if you're not watching the market. I think penny stocks are very predictable, but you've got to know what you're doing. And this was a clear parabolic move, and it was going to crack the next day. And this is stop losses going off here. But let's take a look into the action. So it made its morning move, consolidated. And I was watching this morning uptrend. I was like, steady uptrend. It's yet to go parabolic. Maybe it will today. I want to be in that move. So I kind of got in on the dip in the 70s, around here. Followed it up, and I was like, up $5, $6. I was like, yeah, this is all right. And then kaboom, and I was like, stop losses going off in a dip from the 80s to the 70s, and I was like, I've just lost 10 cents a share. That's mental. And then so I was like, just wait, it'll get bought back up, and it got bought back up. Yeah, so I was in at 282 actually, and then it dropped down, and I was like, shit. And then I got out actually at 279. So I lost 3 cents a share. But I bought in just as it slammed. I remember this now. And then if I'd have literally been, this is the story of me, month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes later, and had the same idea, buying it here or buying this break, I would have watched it run from the 80s. I probably would have sold 330s, but I mean, that would have been a green month. That would have been me month made back, more or less. So just out by 10 minutes, I mean, my timing has been mental on DFFN, on BTUUQ. It's just off. Okay, so this is LPTH, and I was buying it on this day for specific reasons. It had its run, and then it kind of consolidated, and then it was having a next leg up, and it was having 2 million volume. Now, the interesting thing about this is I was buying it midday, but I already had plans to swing it. And the reason I wanted to swing it is because when I looked at the previous day history, I mean, 1, it's at 52 weeks highs. 2, the market's reasonably strong now, now that this Trump saga is kind of put to bed and he's not getting the healthcare reform through for now. But I mean, it was like looking at the previous times it had big volume. So this day on the 14th of February, it closed near its highs and it kind of washed out the next day. So that's one bad trade. One negative against the name LPTH. But then the second day it had volume, it actually gapped up quite nicely and had a tiny spike and then came back down. So that's kind of 1-1. So I looked at the next biggest volume day, and I looked at the 27th, and on this day when it ran, well, let's call it run, it had a bigger green day on big volume. It actually opened near its highs, but it had a little spike, so that swung it in my favor to think, okay, it's got more likely chance of doing good rather than bad into the close in the next day, and it's at 52-week highs, and it's just traded a ton of volume. I'm interested in this stock. So when we go across to the 2-day chart, I'll put you on a 5 minutes because it's not that volatile, it's not that liquid. So I was buying it pretty much in the 254s. 255s, and my risk was always going to be down to 247, so I was risking like 10 cents to make 15 cents, 20 cents, so it was kind of 2 to 1. And it did kind of test these lower days, and this is why it was good to have a bit of a wider range. Ideally, I should have just been patient and bought it into this dip, and that would have been an even better trade to buy it off the $0.50 250, which it held. And then it ripped up. I wasn't prepared to sell because I thought it, like we've just discussed, it was a better swing. And then I am this sell here at 266. I was in at 254, sold some at 266, sold the rest when it dropped down here and sold off into the open at 268. Got a bit greedy. I should have been selling in the 70s, but then it did. I can't speak. I underestimated it. But again, it's like this. The reason I like this chart and I was interested in the first place is because it reminded us of a stock that Tim traded called EARS. And I was like, Tim, I am going to trade a stock just like you did because it had this pattern of holding its highs and bull flagging and pushing up. So I always thought I'm going to trade this stock, and then I did. So yeah, I underestimated it though, and Tim often underestimates stocks and sells too soon as well, but he's made 4 million doing it. So on that note, I'll see you later. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the show or the process or the wrap or whatever you call it. Dubai is pretty sunny and pretty beautiful. I worked very hard to get even here. But I just want to close by saying, yes, I'm sad that I'm missing the market today, but it's also not bad to have a break. So I'm just going to crack a beer to you guys to say cheers. Thank you so much for the journey, all of the last 10 months that you've been following me. I just want to say, like, let's say cheers to leaving the world a better place than we inherited it, and to helping others, and to raising our standards. And let's say cheers to improving who you are, and growing as an individual, and giving life a purpose. And let's say cheers to friends, family, and loved ones, and the greatness that life can offer if you unlock your full potential. So that's me out. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.